edition of Cook This. Thank you. We're back for another season. Thank you for the support. This is your favorite local TV show where we take some of our favorite local restaurants, bring them in here and have them cook for us. Today, cooking for us is Brian from Brando's Beef and Pizzeria in Berwyn. Welcome, Brian.
Thanks for having me.
And our celebrity judge panel we're going to have today, which is always a highlight of the show, is Mr. Matt Sinde. Welcome again. Thank you. I think he volunteers a lot. I think that's what it is. Yeah. Mrs. Patti Farlee from the Culinary Division of RB. Welcome back again. Thank you. And new is Dr. Skinkis joining us. Thank you for joining us. It'll be a fun show. So we have Brando's beef. He's going to show us a Brando's chicken sandwich today, and he's also going to teach us his little secret of making some great Italian beef, their signature style. So get out your notebook, your pencil, push record, and get ready to have us cook for you. Okay, take it over, Brian.
Okay, let's get started. Well, first I got to say happy birthday to my wife. Today's her birthday. When she sees this, if I don't say it, I'll hear about it. So,
all right, we're all good.
Okay, we're going to make a Brando's chicken. We make that on a focaccia bread, which we make in-house. I'm going to toast that a little bit here. Make sure it's nice and hot.
What makes a good focaccia bread?
That's what I was just going to ask.
We actually use our pizza dough.
Okay.
We use the pizza dough, and we use fresh ground tomatoes when we baste it, and we let it proof for a while before we put it in the oven. So let it rise a little bit in a plastic bag. You know, we put it in like a big plastic bag, add the seasoning, then we put it in the oven for a little bit. We don't really cook it. And then we take it back out, and then we heat it as we go then, when we make a sandwich. So
That's interesting. You make your own then, huh?
yeah, make our own focaccia bread, panini bread. Make our own. We're a small place, so we want to be resourceful with our pizza dough.
Sure.
So we use that for pretty much everything. We make our own, we make lasagna, homemade lasagna, ravioli. We use the same dough for everything.
Okay.
So it all works out very good for us. Let's see here. Let's get the chicken here. Let's see. It's like a little toast here. Let's get
So what time? What time do you get up in the morning then to start all the?
I don't get up too crazy. I mean, I don't make all that stuff. I have cooks that come in and do
Okay.
that, but I'm actually there. I have to be there all the time.
Sure.
So I usually get up, 6:30. I have two little ones that, if I'm not up, they're getting me up. So I'll be up in the morning at a decent time. Let me get this real quick here. There we go. That's getting nice and hot now. There we go. A little sizzle right there.
You can hear the tomatoes.
Yeah, you can see the tomato sizzle a little bit. But yeah, I like to get early because I like to get everything set up. You know, by 10:30, everything's gonna be hot and ready to go. I hate to tell somebody, sorry, you have to wait a little bit longer because that's not fair to, the same person at 10:30 should get the same food at 9 o'clock at night.
Oh, very good.
That's nice.
That's like a restaurant industry thing.
Yeah,
The same people that come into the lunch rush, you should still be able to feed them 15 minutes before you close.
So now I'm gonna throw the chicken on here, and I'm gonna add a little bit of oil. Hopefully there's no smoke, like I heard. Which we should
There's
be
no
good.
fire, thank you.
Yeah, no fire, no smoke, no anything. I'm gonna add some grilled onions. So we're gonna get that all going. Put it all together.
On the chicken, do you marinate it all, or?
You know what? It's not marinated. We just I put a little bit of oil. We usually grill it on a regular charbroiler, and I put just oregano, just your basic seasoning. I'm not one of those that's gonna throw 9 million different seasonings.
Italian seasoning or something?
No, that's oregano. I'm gonna put that. Yeah, that I'm gonna put on. I put that on tomatoes. I always like to put oregano on all my cold sandwiches. So I'm gonna add some lettuce here.
Now I know you pre-prepped all of this for the show today, but in the restaurant, is this a typical procedure that all this pre-prep occurs prior to the restaurant opening? Or?
No, the chicken is we just have normal, just cold in the fridge. We take it out, we grill it to order, And then add tomatoes.
How do you cook it at the restaurant?
Just on a charbroiler.
Okay.
Just on a charbroiler. Add a little balsamic.
And you said you have paninis too?
We have paninis,
You got a big panini press?
We have a big panini press, yeah. We talked about maybe bringing that in, but that was just a little
too large, yeah.
Too large. So I'm gonna add provolone to the chicken.
That's always good.
Why did you choose provolone instead
You know what? My partner and I, one day we're just sitting around. We were just like, we need to do something with chicken instead of just a regular chicken sandwich, just something plain. So we just started adding stuff. First we started on French bread, then we started adding French bread just too plain, and then we went to the focaccia bread. Back then we used not homemade focaccia bread, we just bought it back then. But then when I actually hired a cook to come in, and he said I make all that stuff. I was like, well, that's awesome, homemade. Everything was working out very well. And then we just, we messed around a little bit with grilled onions, regular raw onions, mozzarella, provolone. We like the way the sharpness of the provolone is.
Yeah.
The way it mixes with the balsamic and a bistro sauce that we use, which is actually kind of, it's like a kicked up Thousand Island kind of sort of. It's a bistro sauce, it's called.
Okay.
And we use that on a bunch of sandwiches actually. It's a nice little, it's more of a dipping sauce. But we like the way it tastes on all the sandwiches more than it does. We use it on all our burgers. We call it, like I said, we call it special sauce. I don't know what's special about it, but it, I like the way the flavor is.
Sauces have come a long way now. You know, there's a
Yeah.
different sauce for everything. It's not just mayonnaise or ketchup anymore. And
No.
It's not just
Or you
cocktail
mix
sauce
those
or
together.
calamari anymore. There's different sauces for everything.
For everything, right, exactly.
The balsamic is the base is the vinegar. It's not a mayonnaise base. Or
No. It's a balsamic basil.
Okay.
It's a premixed dressing that we use. We use it on a bunch of our, we use it on our subs. We use it on our tomato mozzarella sandwiches, our grilled veggie sandwich. We use it on all that stuff.
Okay.
And salads also.
So that's got to be a lot of fun, sitting down and trying to create the menu items.
Yeah.
How often do you change your menu items?
We're actually looking to do something like that right now because we've had the same menu.
Okay.
You know, just last year we added a sandwich called the Brando's Ultimate, which is it's a little bit of everything: meatball, sausage, beef, garlic bread, provolone, mozzarella. It's a little bit. It's like your Dagwood, I guess, sandwich. You would add
Sure.
everything to it.
Sure.
But what I'm gonna plate this now. Let me switch this over here. I guess we'll turn this down.
That looks nice.
And I did not hear how long you've been in business.
We've been there about 4 years.
Okay,
We
good.
just passed the 3-year mark
Which
last
is
year.
always good.
Yeah. You know, I really, you know, it's not about. I like doing it. It occupies a ton of my time. But you know, I have kids, but it's just so much fun to interact with people.
Either you're made for the business or you're not.
Yeah.
You know, I've seen people come into the business that just weren't supposed to be there, and you know they're not there long.
Yeah.
And you see some people that just come in and they're naturals at it. You got to be a people person. You got to be ready to be humbleized. You're serving the public. You
Yeah.
know.
Criticism, you got to really be.
Oh yeah.
You know, you take it the way it is. You know, I mean, you have people. You can't. You'll never make everybody happy,
No.
but you try to satisfy everybody though.
Now, Brian, what would you say your specialty is for lunch crowd or for people on the go?
You know, we're right by McNeil Hospital, so lunch crowd by me is huge. I mean, McNeil, it's fast food, it's in and out. People have a half an hour, I would say it's mostly fast food. Dinner time, we do pizza. You know, so we get a good call for pizza at dinner time, but mostly it's it's your beef, your sausage, your hot dogs, burgers.
Do you deliver pizza?
Yeah,
Okay.
we deliver. We deliver.
Sandwiches.
We do a bunch of catering.
I know we've done some catering here for Brando's for teachers' luncheons,
Yeah.
and we were overly impressed. Everything was great, very reasonable.
Yeah, actually, I got my nice little bulldog on the
took
front
just
of
a piece of
my
that.
counter, saying thank you from
Yeah, take a bite,
RB
guys.
High School.
Don't burn your palate.
Okay, I just tried some of the bread without the
Very good.
sandwich, and it's
Yeah, it's like
delicious.
the sweet. Yeah, I like the way that is
Yes,
with that
very
sweet focaccia.
So did you roast the tomatoes to get the?
No, it just when we baste it, we have we put it all in a pan, and then we put it in the oven, and that
Okay.
kind of I like to
Yeah,
roast it by itself,
yeah.
but it's doing the process while it's cooking.
Okay.
That's great.
So you do deliver then? You do deliver
Yes.
to Brookfield?
We deliver to
That's
Brookfield.
important for everybody to know since it airs, all over the place.
Yeah,
What
deliver to
about LaGrange
Brookfield.
Park?
The Range Park also.
All right.
Yeah, we
So
deliver.
that's good to know.
Yeah.
That's good to know. I had no idea when I came into your place, so
Yeah.
I got excited. I took a menu. I'm like, absolutely, give me a week and we'll be placing an order to go,
you
or
would
for
think.
delivery.
That I would advertise a little bit better.
Oh my gosh, I was
Well,
a
that's
little
what this
worried
is.
with how much sauce you put on because I don't like a lot of the.
Yeah.
But this blends
Very good.
Very good.
together.
Blends very good.
Yes, it's lovely.
I agree with Patti on the focaccia. That sweetness. It's not a bitter tomato. It's a good sweet tomato. What other sandwiches do you make with using that focaccia bread?
We make our tomato mozzarella,
Okay.
which is the fresh buffalo mozzarella, with the same concept really right here, without the chicken. We use tomato, I sprinkle a little oregano, the balsamic, and the fresh mozzarella. We toast the bun also, and then the grilled veggie, which we grill eggplant, zucchini, and red pepper.
Oh, I would.
And the
really
same
like
kind,
that.
it's everything, like the base of the sandwich is the same, we just add the different, ingredients, which we use that. Yeah, the focaccia bread, I really like the focaccia bread. We also get, when we do our soup, we'll cut little chunks.
Sure.
We do homemade minestrone, pasta fagioli, we do all that stuff homemade in-house, and we add a piece of focaccia with that.
Plus, I seen on your chicken breast, do you smash it down a little bit to flatten it out a little bit? Or?
No, you know what I do, kind of, sort of? We slice it.
Okay.
When they
So you're
slice
slicing
it,
the breast
yeah,
in half
we get the big
lengthways.
chicken breast, it's so
Sure.
big, we slice it. Actually, you know what, we do beat it, I apologize. We do it with the
You
hammer,
do?
a little bit,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, because actually at lunchtime, I don't have the time to tell somebody it's going to take you 9 minutes to get a chicken
Exactly.
sandwich.
But
Yeah.
it's nice and moist,
Yeah.
the chicken.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Yeah.
it's, when you get a fast sandwich, the chicken is so dry that
That's
you
the love I
need
put
this.
in it.
I know it is. I can tell. I
That's
can
the
tell.
love.
I'm feeling
Love
very
adds
loved.
moisture.
I'm feeling
I
very loved.
think by you beating it and making it a little bit more flatter, it's easier to eat. It doesn't squirt out
Correct.
and all of that. So
Yeah.
It's
Yes,
excellent. I
yes.
think
And that
this
can
is
really
great.
be a messy sandwich, like you said, with the dressing and everything,
It
and it's
is.
not too bad.
And I'm on TV, so see,
Yeah.
I'm a little nervous.
You blocked the view.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
it seems like we got an A+ for the Brando's chicken sandwich. When we come back, we're going to learn his famous Italian beef. Will be next, so stay tuned. Hey, welcome back to another edition of Cook This. I'm your host, Pete Calvetti. Today, joining us, we have Brando's Beef and Pizzeria in Berwyn. We have Brian over here showing us how to make some great Italian beef, some Brando's chicken sandwich on focaccia bread, which was interesting and apparently well-liked by our celebrity judge panel here. Mr. Matt Sinde is joining us again. Miss Patti Farlee from the Culinary Division, and Dr. Skinkis is joining us for the first time. Welcome, guys. Thank you. Thank you very much for coming in. I know it's hard to get your schedules away and eat some food here, and I know it's a tough thing for you
telling
guys.
you.
Very tough.
Big sacrifice.
It's hard.
Right, right.
Especially
So
with the
thank
food
you.
we just had.
Right.
Your
Like,
sacrifice
Get
of
the words right
focaccia
out of
bread
my
and stuff
mouth.
like that.
Yes,
Right?
yeah, it was tough.
So anyways, the second segment here, we're gonna make some, I think it's gonna be a real joy for people at home because everyone goes out for beef all the time and no one knows how to make Italian beef at home. You ever see anybody make Italian beef at home? I don't. So you always go out for beef. So he's gonna share a little family secret. Yes, I'm sure Patti does. She's always experimenting at home. So he's gonna show us how the restaurant guys do it. How do you make some good family style Italian beef, the little secrets that he's gonna share with you. So again, push record, get out your pen and paper and take it over, Brian.
Okay, well, we start off with, we use inside round.
Okay?
And we like this cut of meat because of the fat content it has, and that's the key. Is the fat is what's going to make our gravy, and that's the most important because the beef's going to be cooked in the gravy. It's going to sit in the gravy. So we use an inside round, but we use an Angus piece of the meat instead of a normal like select because we need as much beef as possible. See, when you cook the beef, like a big piece like this is about 25 pounds. You're actually going to lose about 4 to 5 pounds in the process of the cooking of it. The fat's going to melt, and because we cook it for about 4 hours total. During that process, we lose a lot of meat that we've paid in advance. Because you have to pay for the pounds in advance. So we try to cut our costs out as much as possible. So the Angus piece we use, and so what we do is we take a piece like this, we'll put it in a big a cooking pan, and we put it in the oven for about 2.5 hours. Put a little bit of water in 2.5 hours.
Do you put anything on it?
No, we don't.
So you're
no
just
rub.
cooking the meat in its own
just the meat.
juices with some water.
That's it.
Let it break
for the
down.
first 2.5 hours. Then what we'll do is we'll take it out, and then we'll add our seasoning to it. And it's, you know what? There really is nothing. To me, there's nothing special to it. I mean, there really
Keep it
isn't.
simple and
it's
stupid. That's a
simple.
culinary term.
It's your oregano, it's your black pepper, your salt, pinch of crushed red pepper. You can really taste that flavor of the red pepper if you put too much in there.
Yeah, goes a long
So
way.
it's just a pinch of red pepper. But the thing that to me the most important thing that we use is called garlic juice. A lot of people don't use that. A lot of people don't even know what it is. It's hard to get it. Not a lot of purveyors hold
share.
it. It's just something that I was taught to use. And I thought, really, what's garlic juice? And I just think the concentration of it. Really, we put a 20-ounce cup in for about a size this big. And that flavor is really what you get. Because I know people wonder, if I inject it or what I might put in there. And it's really just basically the long process of the 4.5 hours of cooking it and the garlic juice. I think that just really penetrates the meat as it's
What is the
cooking.
garlic juice exactly? I mean, is it just
It's like if you were
pummeled garlic with some?
No, it's as clear as water. But
Okay.
it's got the tint of the garlic color.
Okay.
But that's really it.
Okay.
And it's nothing. There's
So you're
no.
adding that to the stock that's been cooking it already.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
And then
So your spices, though, do they go on top of it? Or
I
do
just
they go,
I spread it around the water.
Okay.
It's a pan. It's a good sized
guy
pan.
here?
Roasting.
Yeah, it's a good roasting pan.
I don't know if this will fit in anybody's oven at home, but
Yeah.
this is what you're cooking commercial beef in at the restaurant.
and while you're cooking it, you do cover it, right?
No.
Or you don't. So you leave it
No,
open then. Okay.
no, I leave it open, and it after about 4 hours, like we take it out. We cut it in half, and then we let it cool down. And then what we'll do is we'll place it in the fridge overnight. You can't really slice beef, even if it cools down for a couple hours. So after we have that, this is the product we have. And yeah, I can tell, because this is the reason why, like you said, if we don't cover it, you're going to get this browning and black. But this is what, see, you got the inside cut like that. And this is kind of like what we like to see. I mean, you could tell that this was sitting, I kept this in a little bit too long. You know, I'd like to see a little more red. Because it's going to cook in the beef juice a little bit. So this was a little bit too long. But what I did is I brought this in to show you kind of how we trim it. And what, you know, kind of like the bits and pieces. You know, like when I trim this, I'll actually save the pieces. And what we'll do is I'll make barbecue beef with it.
Sure.
Okay.
We dice it up, and then I'll cook that again for another hour. Slow cook it in barbecue sauce. But, you know, it's pretty much, you can see, you can hear it, you can tell it's in the fridge. But, you know, you get that crunchy stuff. I won't use a lot of this stuff, but there's a ton of flavor in there.
Yeah.
As soon as this comes out, I get people that want to do this all day long and just pinch it and
I
take
think
it off.
we want to do that all the time.
And that's, you know, so I'll trim this all up, you know, and we'll trim it. You'll see it.
You didn't get the hint on it.
Because this is the kind of stuff we don't want either that people to be biting in. Because this really won't get soft in the gravy. So that's why we trim it up. And I'll save this, and like I said, there's other pieces, you know, we trim a little bit. I'll trim it a little bit more. And then we'll make the barbecue beef. And I'll also add this to my chili.
Sure.
It's a little flavor that nobody else has.
Sure.
It's
Okay.
considered my beef.
Now,
so.
will you trim some of the fat off too, or will you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I'll trim some of the fat off. That's what I mean. That's where the cost comes. That's why I use the Angus, because I don't have to trim as much.
Okay.
There's not as much fat in there. There's just enough fat to make my gravy,
Sure.
but not too much fat where I'm going to lose
Gotcha.
a lot of money. So after we trim this, and then I'll have the finished product, which is right here, which is what I got in a little bag here. This is what we slice it. I don't paper thin slice it, and I don't have it thick, but I think it's just the right, you know. I mean, you can see the consistency. You can see a little bit of fat in there.
Yeah.
You know, and that's going to melt. Oop, that's going to melt, and it's going to add flavor to the gravy also, because this has been cooking for 4 or 5 hours.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit here into the juice that's been cooking.
I think you should add a lot because Dr.
Yeah.
Skinkis said
Yeah,
he wanted
I
a
think
large
we're gonna add a lot
sandwich
of
for
it.
breakfast. So
We're going to add a lot here. I'm
there's no
spreading around.
mini Italian beefs here.
And at the beef stand, I have a big steam table, and we keep our gravy at about 185 degrees.
I noticed you said you put it in directly because I
Yeah.
know some places will just pile their beef in. And
Well, and you got to watch out for that too, being in the food, because what happens is if you leave it in too long, it's called reverse osmosis. The salt pulls out the moisture and makes it really tough. Am I
Really
right?
tough, exactly,
and
really
rubbery.
tough. And I don't understand. I mean, I don't know the volume that maybe some of those other places do. They have to have it like that.
Yeah.
But it really takes 45 seconds.
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost done right now. So I don't like to, I actually hate it when some of the people I have worked with just pile it in there. I'm like, did you really need to put all that in there?
Yeah.
You really did. You got an order for a couple beef sandwiches. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a couple sandwiches.
Now, where do you
And
get your bread from?
You
I
got
use,
enough beef in there?
yeah, there's no beef in there. I use Toronto.
Okay.
I get it from Toronto. I'm in Berwyn. I mean, bread to me is a key to the sandwich. I think it's very important. And, you know, I could get, you know, cheaper bread, but to me, Toronto is a good brand. I like, Ganella is also a good brand. You know, I just, you know, Toronto is something that I use. I like to use, like I said, it's in Berwyn. It's very convenient. And I'm glad that a good product like that is close by me.
Sure.
So, what I'm going to do.
Everyone seems to have their own bread
Yeah.
person. You know, everyone. When I had my place, I
Well,
had all
could-
3 of them. But
What's that
You know.
fork? Is there something wrong with that fork?
No, no, no.
let's
This
show
is,
everybody at home the fork that you use.
This is,
the famous fork.
yeah, actually my brother started off a long time ago in the beef business with a company. This is the way they did it. And to me, it's the way it feathers the beef. I know it sounds goofy, but it feathers the beef in the bread better than tongs just clump it. And this kind of,
I've
you know,
never heard that expression before.
So
I
get
you know, you
yourself
get
a
like,
beat
you know,
up fork at
you know,
home.
and you tilt the bread in so you hold it so you don't burn your hands.
Sure.
So a lot of people I know like with that, and you could see how it breaks apart, and it's nice in there, and it fills the sandwich up.
Wow.
You
A
know,
lot of beef.
and then, you know, like you said, you got to mix the gravy. You dip the ends a little bit.
So you don't drown it. You don't drown
No,
it.
no, 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 no. And actually,
That's a
I like to,
little
let me grab a
tip
piece
that
of
I
paper
don't
really quick there,
do.
Pete. I actually like to wrap all my sandwiches. I know it sounds, but to me, it puts the sandwich together. So when you open it, it's all put together. You know, it's like I said, it's like a Christmas morning. You open a little gift.
that.
You know,
Christmas
some
surprise
Brandos.
for lunch.
Oh, there
So
you go.
I don't know if anybody wanted hot or sweet peppers on there.
You can just
Yes.
leave it over there so they can spoon it
Okay.
themselves.
Well, I'm gonna leave that. What I'm gonna
Yeah.
do though is I'm gonna put some of the sweet peppers in the juice a little bit. I don't want, you know, put a
Okay.
little splash
So now,
right
do you
there.
make your own jardiniere, or do you?
You know, that I don't. We'd like to. We're actually doing some work right now. My place is not that big.
That's what I was
So
gonna
what we're doing is we're trying to, I'd like to make my own jardinary.
Let's pass the
ask.
sandwiches
How
down.
big is your place? I don't think I've heard that.
It's we seat about 16 people, so it's very not big. I mean, our kitchen is pretty big. It was a 3-bedroom apartment that we actually bought the building and made a commercial kitchen in there.
Oh,
So it's
that was expensive.
yeah, so it's nice. The kitchen's a good size, but that one has sweet peppers on it.
Yeah, pass that one down.
Oh, sure.
bite now.
One there.
Too, yeah, but if
This
you
one
don't
just put
have
in
that
here.
Okay.
I'm not
Want me to
worried.
eat the plain one?
I don't care.
It's a surprise. Just open it up and see
Yeah.
which
Just
one you
like
got.
this.
It's a Christmas gift.
Now, Brian, with being with May and all the communions and graduations, is this
Yeah.
a busy season for you with all your catering?
This
and-
actually, yeah. Yes, Doctor, it does get very busy for me, and I like it, because it's weird. It's like you get that slow time, that right after Super Bowl, we do a ton of catering Christmas, Super Bowl, then all of a sudden, everybody kind of
You can
hibernates a
just give
little
that
bit.
to them. They need to eat.
And then this season comes around.
Merry
we get
Christmas,
Very busy.
Mr.
Yeah,
Sinde.
Merry
I like
Christmas.
that. Thank you.
Yeah. We do that with all the sandwiches. I believe in that. That's just something my brother and I always believed in, wrapping up the sandwich.
I love
Very
that.
good.
Could you purchase this though in a container to freeze and bring home,
Yeah.
or do I always have to buy it fresh?
No, you can freeze it.
Okay.
We've done it before. We have a lot of people that take it.
That's what I would
We'll
think.
freeze it.
Okay.
We have shrink wrap. We'll put it in a thing and shrink wrap it, and you bring it with you. We do it with olive for pizzas too.
And what sizes can I buy this in to bring?
We sell it by the pound.
Okay.
We sell beef by the pound, and then we'll give you a quart of gravy with that.
Okay.
And the gravy's actually pretty strong. You can actually add water to it if you felt that, if you wanted to expand your gravy a little bit. You can
I'm
make
just
gravy
thinking
bread.
with Mother's Day coming up, I
Yeah.
don't want to cook. So.
Yeah.
Beef frozen in the freezer is awesome. I mean, you just take it out the night before,
Mm-hmm.
properly thaw it out, and then dump that juice in a saucepan, and you have
Yeah.
dinner ready in a couple minutes. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Like you went out. Well, tell you what. Why don't you guys enjoy the sandwiches? We'll get your reactions when you come back. I don't want to disturb your meal there. And so that was the famous Italian beef. We'll recap when we come back. Stay tuned. Good job. Hey, welcome back to Cook This. I love getting applause. This season's great. This is fantastic. Welcome back to Cook This. I'm your host, Pete Calvetti. And joining us today is Brian from Brando's Beef and Pizzeria in Berwyn. Brian has just fed our judge panel here, and they all have smiles on their face. Some Italian beef, family recipes,
delicious.
garlic juice. These are all new things. You saw the before, the after, what beef looks like. You always get the finished product, but you don't know how much time and love goes into it, actually,
It's a lot of work.
And then he made the Brando's chicken sandwich on focaccia, which was different. I mean, everyone's always
Yeah.
throwing it in this, in some Italian bread or French. You changed it up a little bit, and apparently it was really good with the sweetness of the tomatoes. So that's impressive. So just to recap, that's what he made for us. He also has some lunch specials throughout the week, so you can get in there for lunch. And also he delivers all over the place, so keep that in mind. This is their pizza. I just had to show this. This pizza looks awesome. This is your personal pizza for $5 for lunch, and that looks amazing.
Yeah, it's made to order, so make sure you call ahead. It takes about 10, 15 minutes. Depends on the ingredients, thin or thick, but it's about 10 minutes. You come in, you get a thin slice of cheese or sausage right away, and you can add up to 4 or 5 ingredients on the pizza. So.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So just to recap, you're in Berwyn on Windsor.
Yeah.
What's your address over there?
6838 Windsor Avenue in Berwyn, just west of McNeil Hospital, about a block and a half.
Okay. And your hours of operation?
Different hours every day.
okay. Give me the Monday through Thursday.
Monday through Thursday is 10:30 to 9. Fridays 10:30 to 10. Saturdays 11:30 to 10.
Okay, one more.
And then Sundays noon to 9 o'clock. So every
All
day's
right.
a little different at Brando's.
All right. So mainly, after
Yeah.
11 and before 9,
Exactly,
generally.
yeah.
So those are the main operation hours, and that's when most people are hungry. So
Yeah, we do a good lunch crowd. That's our main is
excellent,
lunch.
excellent. Well, I want to thank the judge panel for being here and sacrificing your time away from your work
Thank
schedule.
you guys.
Nice job, Brian.
Thank you so much.
Really?
I'm gonna take this pizza home, and if I can get out of the room, that
It's $5.
the
though.
kids don't get it from me, bill me. All right. So thank you for joining us for another edition of Cook This, and thank you so much for Brian
Oh,
for
thank
coming in for a busy restaurant schedule.
Nice job.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Thank you.
Thank you for the panel. And till the next time we have our next show, stay hungry. We'll see you then. Thanks.